Hello Georgetown, I'm Beverly Enos and you are watching Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Now this is part of your cable station. It's part of your cable bill whenever you get it. If you want to come down to the station and learn how to run the equipment or do some editing, you're more than welcome. They have all the equipment, there's no charge, and they will train you. You don't have to have any experience at all. Okay, so come on down. Now today we're going to be talking to MariaMolori, and she is a poet, amongst other things.
Hello.
Where are you from?
I was born and raised in this area, and then I moved away for 30 years to Connecticut, and a couple of years ago I said it's time to go home.
So you're from?
Now I'm in North Andover.
North Andover. But you have done a poetry reading here in Georgetown.
Yes, I have.
So that's why we have you on today. So we're going to talk a little bit about your poetry. Now you have two daughters.
Yes, I do.
And where are they?
One is in Rhode Island, and one is right across the bay in Connecticut.
Okay.
Yes.
Names?
Laura and Kristen.
Okay. Now, what do you do for work? Because the poetry is just for your soul. So what do you do for work?
I counsel battered women, and now I'm working with battered men.
So both?
Yes.
Is that a change?
Yes, it is. Yes. People don't realize that men are battered as well as women. Not as often, but they are.
Plus, battering doesn't have to be a physical abuse. It can be a mental
Yeah, the
control.
most serious is mental.
Yeah. That's the one that's hardest to get away from. Now, you said you grew up in this area. Where did you spend your summers?
Oh, great. Salisbury Beach. My grandmother and grandfather had a cottage, and the day after school, I moved up, and I did not come back home until Labor Day. It was fabulous.
So I grew up as a summer kid here in Georgetown. There's something special about being able to go away for the summer and be on the water and
Yes.
just play with the other kids.
Yeah, right. My most favorite place.
Now, part of what you did with your book, some of the drawings are connected with the ocean. So the ocean means a lot to you.
Yes, every picture has water. Yes, I have my boater's license and my lobster license. Yes.
Now, how did all of this influence your poetry?
I was young. I was about 13, 14, and I'd be sitting on the water, and I'd sort of get an idea, and I wasn't sure what it was at first. And then one day, I don't know, I was writing a book report for the summer, and I pulled out the notebook, and I started to write what I was thinking, and I had a poem. And that's just what it was. I get an idea, and I have to have paper and pencil there quickly, because if I wait more than 60 seconds, everything it's gone. Overhead and under feet.
Yeah. How do you come up with the ideas?
They just come to me. I can't answer. They just come to me. I don't know. I could be sitting, waiting to have a cup of coffee somewhere, and I just get an idea.
And that's it. Write it down.
That's it. Right.
Now, do you carry this notebook with you all the time?
I have a little one somewhere around. Yeah.
So you can jot things down
Quickly.
Now, do you jot down do you write the whole poem right then, or do you go back and
no, write
edit?
the whole thing and never edit.
Wow, it's different. So we've done a lot of interviews, but so you don't do any editing?
Not at all. No, because that first thought, there's a flow. In fact, one of my poems is called The Flow. And I get the thought, it sort of goes through my heart into my hand, and I just write, and it's done. I know it sounds crazy, but that's it.
Now,
it's different from writing. Poetry is very different from regular
from writing a book or a novel or something.
Right.
Now, how did you choose which poems were to go in the book?
The people that helped me publish it, they were the ones that picked, because I had an awful lot. So I picked my favorites, they picked their favorites, and those are the ones that went into the book.
Are the poems a positive or a negative?
They're sort of down poems, but it's something about the last two lines are sort of uplifting. I have a poem about King Heroin and people on drugs, and what happens. And at the end, I just made a comment to this king, and something like, King Heroine, I will never be a property of your domain, meaning not everyone. There are people strong enough not to do drugs.
Okay. The name of it is Walking on the Blade.
Correct.
Now, what does that name mean?
Life is the blade. The picture of the book cover has the horizon. And life is a blade, and we have to walk gently because when we slip up, we get cut.
Okay.
We all slip up, so we all get cuts, but some are deeper than others.
Okay, now, how did you know you had this kind of talent?
I don't know. Like I said, I used to get an idea, and I wasn't really sure. At first, I thought something was wrong with me. and I wasn't sure. And then one day I just decided to write. I don't know, it just came, and I started to write.
Now, you did this as a teenager up at your grandparents' place. Did you show it to them?
Not when I was young. No, not when I was young. When I was probably about 18, I went back to my high school and I showed my English teacher a couple of them.
And what was the comment?
And she just said, these are pretty good. She said, don't stop. And I didn't.
So you're still writing?
Yes.
You still have your notebook?
Yes, and I still have to have the mood. If you tell me to, Maria, sit down and write a poem about, sadness or about the rain or a snowstorm, I couldn't.
Okay. What motivated you to actually put a book together?
It was my gift to me for my 50th birthday.
Well, that's a nice gift.
I figured, you know what, let me look into this and see if anyone is interested. And I was very fortunate. I was at the right place at the right time.
Now, you found a publishing house, or did you self-publish?
No, they gave me my publishing. Most people have to buy a publishing name, and my publishing company per se is Mimi Publication. And the woman worked for Random House.
Okay.
And she had retired, and a friend sent me there. And like I said, I was at the right place at the right time.
Now, Mimi is because the people in Connecticut all called you Mimi.
That is my nickname. Where I worked, at the women's shelter, there were 3 Marias. So the oldest one got to stay Maria. The second one, her initials are MJ, and mine are M&M. And I said, well, my plain or peanut. So someone just said, you look like a Mimi. I don't know. But up home here, I'm Maria, and as soon as I cross the border, I'm Mimi.
Okay. How did writing the book, or putting the book together, affect you?
It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling to take photographs and match them to my poems. And all different tides of the ocean are all different moods and all different feelings.
So when I've read the book, obviously. So each page has a poem and a drawing.
That's correct.
Of something to do with the ocean.
Yes.
Now, who did the drawings?
I don't know. It was a man in Mystic, Connecticut.
So the publishers put that part in.
And they got him for me. I never knew his name, but he came with old folders of pictures, and he said, take what you want.
Because some of them are very dramatic.
Very. Yes, as some of the poems are.
Right. The poems are not all
no,
rhyming sweetness and happiness
and no love and romance. No. They're the real thing.
You've been doing this all along. How did your girls feel about you putting a book together, publishing?
I think the girls were pretty proud of me. And my book's dedicated to my daughters, of course. And I have nicknames for them. And we were out to dinner one night, and I said, do you want your actual names, Laura and Kristen, or do you want your nicknames? That I've called them their whole life, and I was really surprised they wanted their nicknames.
Which are?
Larry is for Laura, and Kay is for Kristen.
How did you come up with those?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
a lot of things that you do in your life. You're not sure about why
No,
you do them.
no, but I do them and I like them. I think first, though.
Okay, you do think first. You have other family up in this area,
Yes, all my family's here. I was the only rebel that left home.
and you decided to come back.
Yes, yes. After 30 years, it was time to come home. The girls were finished school and working, and I'm going home.
How did your mother feel about this book?
That generation, I don't think really understood. I don't think they do. She just said, "Oh, you are," and it was, and aunts and uncles. It was just very,
Like, oh well,
yeah.
this is what you came up with this time?
It was, yeah. It was just I don't know. There was no wonderful, no. And then as I got to people my generation, they said that's really good. And then the younger generation, they thought it was fabulous.
I think the poems mean more to people of our generation.
Yes.
Because we grew up looking into emotions and accepting emotions and speaking about them.
Exactly. Our parents' generation.
They never spoke about
They
emotions.
had to hide everything.
Right. So
Right.
I don't think they understand them as much because it's just not
Right.
something that would ever happen in their life
Right,
to,
and the younger
to
kids,
express it.
right? You're right, absolutely. And the younger kids understand it more because they are.
They express everything.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Now, what's in the future?
I don't know. Another book probably someday, and I have enough poems for another one, but I'm not ready yet because I'm still doing poetry readings and book signings with this one.
Okay. When that ends, maybe there'll be
Maybe.
time to put another one
Right,
together.
maybe.
Are the poems still of the same vein as your first book?
No, they're starting to change. Another thing I can't answer. I don't know.
Why are they changing?
But they maybe because my life is so different now, being older, and you see things differently, and you feel things differently, much differently than you did when you were 20, 30, and 40. Now in the 50s and climbing up 50s.
You're welcome to my world.
Right.
So this whole experience is just going to be ongoing for you.
I guess. I hope so.
Oh, when you write the next book, will you come back?
If I'm invited.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
for coming.
Thank you.
I'm Beverly Enos. Check out the poetry. This is Spotlight Georgetown, and have a great week. Bye for now.